What is going on, NFL fans? Jay all day here. Don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 5K. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today's episode, I want to break down all the big free agency moves in the NFL. There's been a shit ton of them. Some good, some not so good. Everyone's really excited about free agency. Well, unless you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. As an Eagles fan, it always feels good to trash Cowboys fans, and I love that they haven't done absolutely anything in free agency. All right, let's break down some of these moves. I'm going to give you my grade along with the ESPN grades. First, Kenny Moore, the slot corner, is coming back to Indianapolis. The Colts have been re-signing a lot of their guys on defense. I like this. I give it a B. ESPN gives it a B+. 3 years, $30 million is pretty good. This is a slot corner that stays on the field a lot. What does this mean for the Colts going in the draft and getting that number 15 pick? I love Brock Bowers for the Colts, man. Anthony Richardson with Brock Bowers. Woo, baby. That would be a huge weapon for him. We'll see if he makes it to number 15. All right, the 49ers agreed to sign defensive end Leonard Floyd. It looks like Chase Young is going to walk. They did give up some draft capital to bring in Chase Young from Washington. Hasn't really worked out so well. I like this. I don't love it. 2 years, $24 million for an edge defender. It's not necessarily breaking the bank. I like this deal. I give it a solid B too. All right. Steelers signed linebacker Patrick Queen. The beginning of Queen's career was rocky to the point that the Ravens declined to pick up his fifth-year option. Then he broke out in 2023, suddenly became a top free agent linebacker, and now he's joining the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay. For 1 year of production, 3 years, $41 million. It's a big deal. Next up, we have a monster deal. Derrick Henry going to the Ravens on a 2-year, $16 million deal, $9 million guaranteed. It's a low-risk deal, I think. He's 30 years old. His production dropped a little bit last year, but the Titans weren't very good with Will Levis at the quarterback position. We'll see how it goes with the Ravens, but the Ravens are really a team that likes to run the ball, so he's going to get, his 20 carries a game. With him and Lamar Jackson, that running attack is going to be really hard to deal with. Say Flowers was really good last year. He'll be a second-year player. So that offense, I look for them in the draft to possibly go wide receiver. We'll see what the wide receiver kind of position looks like late in the draft. Will a guy like Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU be there? Or the guy from Georgia, the slot receiver, he's really good too, got really good hands, so we'll see what happens. But I like the deal. They gave it an A-. Yeah, I'm like in that B+ range. He is 30 years old, but it's only a 2-year deal, and if they want to extend him, if he has a couple good years, awesome. Titans address secondary, bringing in Awuzie, 3 years, up to $36 million with $19 million guaranteed. It's a lot of guaranteed money for a cornerback. As you can see, look at Bradbury for the Eagles, man. 1 year he has a really good year, and the next year it's like he could barely even be a starter in the NFL. So the drop-off with cornerbacks can be significant. So as a GM, I don't particularly love giving cornerbacks a lot of guaranteed money, but we'll see what happens. It does shore up the Titans secondary a little bit. 3 years, $19 million guaranteed. I like it. I don't love it. The Falcons agreed to sign wide receiver Darrell Mooney. 3 years, $39 million, $26 million guaranteed. A lot of guaranteed money's floating around out there right now, but the Atlanta Falcons are going on a spending spree on offense this year. Kirk Cousins is coming in. Mooney on a $39 million deal. You got Drake London. You got Kyle Pitts. You got Bijan Robinson. The Atlanta Falcons look like super legit contenders in the NFC after bringing in all these guys. I like this deal. Looks like receivers are getting more and more guaranteed money year after year. So now I definitely think the Falcons are going to go defense in the draft next. Next up, the Seattle Seahawks are bringing back defensive lineman Leonard Williams. I absolutely hate this deal. 3 years, $64 million, almost $50 million guaranteed. For a guy who doesn't produce a lot, he recorded 5.5 sacks last year. And outside of one season in 2020 where he had 11.5 sacks, he doesn't go over 6.5 sacks. That guaranteed money is a joke, man. A guy who isn't super productive year in and year out, you can't give him all that guaranteed money. Seahawks, I don't like this deal at all whatsoever. All right, the Patriots are bringing back lineman Mike Anua. 3 years, $57 million. He's a good offensive lineman. Really, really good. A-. I like this deal too. The offense with the Patriots, you got to keep the good players that you have. You don't have a lot of good players. Mike is a really good offensive lineman. I like this deal for the Patriots. 3 years, $57 million. I like this deal. He's actually a really good run blocker. I like this. The Titans agree to bring in center Lloyd Cushenberry. This is a great deal. A lot of money for a center. 4 years, $50 million. About half of it guaranteed. They gave up a ton of sacks last year, 64, tied for 4th in the NFL. I like this deal. The Patriots bring in Jacoby Brissett. He's familiar with the Patriots and how they do things there. I mean, 1 year, $8 million deal to be the backup or potential starter. I don't hate that deal. I like it. And I'm going more of a B grade. All right, the Lions trade with the Buccaneers for cornerback Carlton Davis III. All right. The Lions secondary was trash. That's the reason why they lost to the 49ers in the playoffs. Terrible, terrible secondary. Anything that they get right now is an upgrade. Here's the deal. The Lions get Davis and a 24th 6th round pick, 25 6th round pick. Buccaneers get a 24 3rd round pick. It's pretty much a B for both sides. I like the Lions getting that. I like the Bucs getting some draft capital. The Chiefs, monster deal. Chris Jones, probably the best defensive player in the NFL. The D tackle got an incredible deal, almost $160 million, 5 years, $95 million guaranteed. You had to bring him back. That defense is elite, and Chris Jones is one of the major reasons for that. He could take on double and triple teams, free up some other guys to do some stuff. I love that. Next up, Austin Eckler going to the Commanders. 2 years, $11 million. I like this deal. C+. Eckler's getting old, dealt with some injuries. The Commanders could use some help at the running back position. Panthers trade D and Brian Burns to the Giants. The Giants get Burns and a 2024 5th round pick, and the Panthers get a 2024 2nd round pick, 2024 5th round pick, and a 2025 5th round pick. Great move for the Giants. Shore up that defensive line, and the Panthers continue to suck balls at everything. The Panthers are a joke. If I was Bryce Young, I would not even play. Trade me. I hate this. Commanders agree to terms with linebacker Frankie Louvu, 3 years, up to $36 million. The Commanders shoring up a pretty decent defense. They did trade away all their good players on that D-line, so bringing in a linebacker like Louvu, good deal. Gardner Minshew goes to the Raiders to compete potentially for a starting spot. 2 years, $25 million, $15 million guaranteed. Gardner Minshew, I'm a big fan of yours, dude. I think you're a great dude. You're hilarious. You're so much fun to watch. Raiders fans are going to love Gardner Minshew. Whether he's starting or backing up, doesn't matter. I like that move. The Packers signed Josh Jacobs after cutting Aaron Jones. I do not like this deal at all whatsoever. Jacobs had his worst year of his career last year, so you're going to give him 4 years, $48 million. Not a lot of guaranteed money, so they didn't give him a lot of guaranteed money. They were like, hey, dude, you got to prove it. But I would have just kept Jones, C-. I kind of D+. That's not a good grade. I don't like that. Bengals, they bring Geno Stone, the safety, away from the Ravens. 2 years, $15 million. A great safety. Geno Stone is a very talented player. Coming over from a great defense in the Ravens. 2 years, $15 million for a quality player. That's an A grade. I like that move for sure. The Colts re-signed defensive tackle Grover Stewart. They bring in the guy 3 years, $39 million. The Colts are doing a lot on defense, bringing in guys, kind of revamping that defense, making a lot of moves. I think they're going to go heavy on offense to help out Anthony Richardson, whether it's offensive line or wide receiver or a guy like Brock Bowers. I like that move. This is one of the, as an Eagles fan, I thought Xavier McKinney would have been in the Eagles green next year. It saddens me. But as a Packers fan, you got to be fucking stoked about this, man. I think they're a safety and a couple corners away from being a perennial playoff team. This defense needed some help. They got that help. Xavier McKinney is a dog. 4 years, $68 million. I agree. B+ type of grade. I like it. Robert Hunt going to the Panthers. They overpaid again. They're making bad trades. They're overplaying for mediocre guys. Giving a guard 5 years, $100 million with $63 million guaranteed. Carolina, what are you doing? You want a GM? Hire me to be your GM because you don't know what you guys are doing. Oh my God, the Panthers organization is complete trash. $100 million for a guard? $100 million for a guard? $63 million guaranteed? F. C- was, being generous. All right, the Vikings keep building their defense. Andrew Van Ginkel, the linebacker's coming over 2 years, $20 million, $14 million guaranteed. I like Van Ginkel. I like watching him in Miami. He's tough. He's smart. He's a good locker room guy. I like that deal. The Kirk Cousins deal, $180 million deal, $90 million guaranteed. B is about right. I'm going B minus. Kirk Cousins coming off that Achilles injury. You don't know what you're getting. I like the deal. I don't like $90 million in guaranteed money. That's like 2-3 years pretty much in guaranteed money. I don't know. They overpaid. I don't love this deal. The Falcons are going for it, though. If you're a Falcons fan, you got to be stoked because your team's going all in. The Eagles bringing in Saquon Barkley. I like the deal. A C, that's BS. I don't like that at all. 2 years are pretty much guaranteed on the $37 million deal. That's a bullshit grade. I'm going B plus to B minus. I like this deal. Saquon's got to stay healthy. He's getting a little bit older, but he's not quite there yet where you're going to see a downfall. I think a 2-year deal is nice. So it's a 3-year deal, but the guaranteed money is only 2 years. So if he's only 2 years and he sucks, you could cut him and, take some dead money on the cap, but you can get rid of him. Eagles bring in DN Bryce Huff from the Jets. I like this deal. A minus. I agree with that. But there's some risk to this deal. He hasn't had a ton of consistent production. He was productive last year, but he was pretty much not a full-time player, situational guy, likes to rush the passer, not great against the run. Paid him a lot of money. All right, Gabe Davis leaving Buffalo, going to the Jaguars. Jaguars needed help with the wide receiver position. Maybe they could shore up defense in the draft. We'll see what happens. All right, keep going down the line. Jonah Jackson, I like this. Protect Matt Stafford and open up some running lanes for Kyron Williams. I love this deal. Another guard, Jonah Jackson, coming over from Detroit, who was a great, great player with that incredible offensive line, A grade. I graded an A too. I love it. Christian Wilkins, a D tackle, coming over. Another monster deal for a D tackle. $110 million, $84 million in guaranteed money. Woo! Baby, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I like Wilkins. The Dolphins are losing a lot of guys in free agency. The Dolphins not going to be so good next year. I continue with my pick of them being in third place next year. It's a lot of money. $84 million guaranteed. Man, a lot of guys are getting guaranteed money this year. Titans bringing in Tony Pollard. Ooh, he had a bad year with the Cowboys last year. I think he's cooked. 3 years, $24 million. Blah. Titans are going to be poop donkey dick this year. Vikings add defensive end Jonathan Grenard to boost pass rush. Grenard, he's coming over from Houston, I believe. He's a beast. An absolute beast. 4 years, $72 million, $42 million guaranteed. A grade. I'm going more B plus, B grade. He's really, really good. Vikings are adding to that defense over and over again. Exciting for the Vikings. Bears add DeAndre Swift. I like the deal for DeAndre Swift because I think he's a good dude, but the Bears overpaid for him. 3 years, $24 million, $15 million guaranteed. I wish it was $10 or $12 million guaranteed of the $24 million. I think 50-50 would have been nice. That would have bumped that up to a C plus, B minus for me. But I hope Swift has a good year. It's going to be really exciting to see these young players in this Bears offense next year. And we haven't said that in a really long time. Caleb Williams going number 1, pretty much 99% certain to the Bears. They got the number 9 pick. Looks like Rome Odunze from Washington should be available there. Even though I don't love his tape. He has a little bit of trouble getting separation. But they're probably going to go with him. Or maybe like a guy like Brock Bowers. Caleb Williams to Brock Bowers with DeAndre Swift. That's a fun offense, guys. Colts are bringing back Michael Pittman to a humongous deal. $71 million, $46 million guaranteed. I like that. The Colts are trying to do some things. We'll see how it all plays out. Sometimes in free agency, it can backfire when you bring all these moving parts in. We'll see what happens. The Jaguars are signing center Mitch Morse, 2 years, $10 million. He's a good player, going to help with that offensive line. Not a ton of money, B plus grade. I like it. Russell Wilson, I like the B plus A grade on this deal because it's a low risk, high reward. Russell Wilson was pretty effective last year. They're not going to ask him to throw the ball 40 fucking times with Pittsburgh. He's going to throw the ball 25, 30 times at the most. He's going to be a situational guy. 1 year, $1.2 million. I like the deal. Wide receiver Kendrick Bourne re-ups with the Patriots. 3 years, $33 million. The Patriots are bringing back some guys. B, torn ACL, limited to just 8 games in a tumultuous 2023 season. So if he's healthy, hopefully the guaranteed money is low because you got to see with wide receivers with ACLs. It's better now than it used to be. And then the Bucs bringing back Baker Mayfield. That's going to be the last one I'm talking about today. Tampa Bay Buccaneers bringing back Mike Evans. They're bringing back Baker Mayfield. I think they're going to go defense heavy in the draft. So we'll see what happens. The Bucs are running it back. They have a clear-cut path to win that division again. We'll see what happens. Let me know in the comments below. What are the deals you hate the most? What are the deals you like the most? Is your team doing enough? Of course, if you're a Cowboys fan, you're not doing shit. But, oh, man, that was hilarious. I love that the Cowboys aren't doing anything. It makes me feel good as an Eagles fan. Ha! All right, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.